All right, y'all. So here we go. Joe Biden is going to be giving his State of the Union address soon. Now, by the way, we're going to be covering that live. So tune in on this YouTube channel to see the live stream of that. It'll be myself and the Breaking Points crew. But the leak that we're getting now is that Biden is about to lean into the economy. By the way, as if the economy's like doing just peachy. You can't make this stuff up. So the argument from Biden is effectively going to be, remember when Hillary did this? America's already great. Trump says, make America great again. Hillary said, America's already great. Guys, that is not a good line. That flies directly in the face of people's personal experience. You're never going to win this argument. Okay, so let's read some of what they say here. This is in the Hill. President Biden is expected to lean into an economic message as he and his campaign team conduct a soft launch of his reelection campaign in the coming weeks. Sources familiar with the plan say, a strong report on the economy this week that showed the nation is adding jobs even as inflation cools is stoking confidence among Democrats that the economy can bolster Biden in 2024 after many feared it was a hindrance in the 2022 midterm message for the party. So let me pause here to say, these guys, they don't take into account enough economic indicators. If all you're going by is like the inflation number, the unemployment number, jobs created, I think that misses so much. It's so flippant, it's so glib. It doesn't take into account that we live in like the gig economy. Like people are showing their ball sack on OnlyFans or driving an Uber, and Biden's about to do a victory lap. Like, bro, you gotta come on. This is not like we're not in some utopian system where you could say, like, isn't everything great, bro? With the State of the Union address on February 7th, Biden is likely to give an upbeat tone on the economy that will roll into a campaign message that Democrats expect will highlight strong job numbers and rising wages. Now, but here's the thing. Are the wages really rising? Because if it's not keeping up with inflation, which my understanding is to this point it hasn't, they're not really rising in real terms. So it's a little bit of sleight of hand type stuff that they're doing there. Quote, the economy can and will be a winning issue for Biden, said Gabriel Horowitz, senior vice president of the economic program at centrist think tank Third Way. So in other words, the guys who are always wrong about everything ever are like, hey, good idea. When you look at the top line stats, they're incredibly impressive. They are massive accomplishments. In an expected message at the State of the Union, if an expected message at the State of the Union is that this union is strong, the projected message Biden wants to tout in 2024 is that the nation is stronger under his leadership and is emerging in good shape after the coronavirus pandemic. Jesus. That is not this. I mean, Trump made this mistake too in 2020. Keep America great. He went from make America great again to keep America great. Well, people look at that and they go, dog, we ain't doing too well. And so there was a backlash. Biden wants to recreate that mistake. Quote, are we better off than we were 2 years ago? Yes, said Robert Wolf, a prominent Democratic fundraiser, and not to be confused with Richard Wolf, by the way, and the former chairman and CEO of UBS Americas, said of Biden's message. We have a strong jobs market with wages going up and inflation has peaked and is coming down. Biden is eager to claim credit for a record-breaking recovery from the COVID-19 recession, powered in part by the stimulus he and his Democrats deployed soon after he took office. Under Biden, the U.S. economy gained 11.2 million jobs, and gross domestic product bounced back rapidly from the onset of the pandemic in 2020. The U.S. has replaced all of the jobs and GDP lost during the recession, all while a record-strong labor market lifted wages for millions of American workers. The December jobless rate of 3.5% is also even with the unemployment rate in February 2020, which was then the lowest in more than 50 years. So, look, I'm not saying you can't bring up those things. I'm just saying you have to keep them in context and perspective. And the fact of the matter is, a poll from this week says only 20% of Americans think the country is heading in the right direction. 20%. So you're never going to win this argument. You can't just say everything's peachy, everything's rosy, because then people go, oh, you're really disconnected from how the average American feels. And you don't want that. Look, if you're going to go with the brag mindset, at least brag about the things that you did that were objectively good, right? So lowering prescription drug prices for seniors. No problem with you bragging about that. Finally taxing these welfare queen corporations that sometimes paid 0% in taxes. Now you're taxing them 15%. Brag about that. bringing $80 billion plus investment for green jobs here in America, made in America stuff. You can brag. Like, I'm fine with you saying, hey, here are the things that we did that were good. But you have to pair that together with, and we still have so much more work to do, and I'm on top of this work, and let me tell you what I'm working on now, man. Let me tell you exactly what we're going to do. Because, again, just the, blowing smoke up your ass and saying everything's already hunky-dory, that's not going to work. I think that's a real weak message. And I think it is very disconnected. But what do you expect from the Washington, D.C. elite bubble? This is a game to them. They don't feel the pain, right? So... anyway, there you have it. I think this is not a good move from one Joseph Raisinette Biden. If you want to see me and Crystal Ball interview legends like Noam Chomsky, Cornel West, and more, subscribe to Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. $5 a month gets you the video version a day early. Remember, we take 0 ad dollars for this podcast. Or you can sign up on Substack for free and get the audio version a day later. Link in the video description box below.